Welcome to today's lesson. We're talking about pricing. This is how you get paid. This is probably the most important, or one of the most important parts of this whole certification process, is you understanding how to properly price your services. So you're going to find a niche, you're going to find small businesses, they're going to pay you, and you're going to help them with social media and internet marketing. Now, the key thing to understand is that Charlie Munger, that's the business partner of Warren Buffett, the billionaire, he says oftentimes he finds that the biggest mistake business owners make, and now you're a small business owner yourself, is underpricing, undervaluing. So there's a basic principle. You're going to have 3 price ranges with a 4th enterprise price. So the basics are, I recommend that you charge $9.97 a month. That's your basic package. And we'll have some materials below, some PDFs and stuff, with kind of this written out, but I'm giving it to you right now because you want to keep this in your head. It's $9.97 a month contract. You're going to have a $19.97 package. You're going to have a $49.97 package. That's almost $5,000. And then you're going to have what's called an enterprise package. If you run into bigger businesses or they have a lot more work for you, and that's $9,997. So that's 10 grand. So basically, you've got a 1 grand package, a 2 grand package, a 5 grand package, and a 10 grand package to present to businesses. Usually you want to start them in the lowest one, because if you come in and try to sell them without you having done a sample of your work, oftentimes people are price averse, meaning they'll go, I don't feel like spending 10 grand or 5 grand or even 2 grand. But with the $9.97, most businesses are going to say, you know what, I can at least test it. And remember, one of the principles is you're going to do a cancel anytime policy. So people, as long as they give you notice, they can cancel. So you can tell them, look, let's try this for $9.97. If I'm not helping you, if you don't see the value, you can cancel your contract. And by pricing your products to include a cancel anytime, you get a lot. You get a lot more. It's easier to close clients. Then the last thing, this is optional, but I recommend you offer people 100% money back refund for that month. So if you do, if they do 1 month with you and at the end of the month they say, look, this doesn't help me, I want to cancel my contract, you didn't help me at all, they could get their whole $9.97 back. If it's a monthly contract for like 6 months and they've been doing work every month, $9.97 a month, I wouldn't recommend you allowing them to refund the whole 6 months. That wouldn't be fair, but the last month they could. So you basically make them aware in your sales pitch, and we'll talk about that later, the actual things to say to small business owners to get them to sign and give you their credit card info so that you can charge them monthly. You really need a few tricks up your sleeve, and not in a sneaky way, I mean in a persuasive way. So you need to be able to tell them, look, it's cancel anytime for the contract as long as you give notice, and it's a full refund for any month that you didn't think that I helped you, right? For the last month that I worked for you. And by doing that, the friction you get up front goes way down. Because remember, the number one complaint that people have is, or the number one reason they don't close, right? So you do a whole presentation, you do a free evaluation for them of their website and their marketing, and they see the value, but they just won't sign on the dotted line. It's generally because, number one, they're afraid to get locked in for a long time. Number two, they are worried that if they give you your money that you'll rip them off. So by having a refund policy, that's why I have refund policies on all my programs, and by having a cancel anytime, you pretty much overcome those 2 objections right at the beginning. So you can start out by saying that to them. Look, I want you to just know this is how this program works. You don't have to be afraid, because I'm so confident in what I've learned as a certified social media marketing expert that I'm willing to give you all your money back, and I'm willing to let you cancel this contract at any time, and we only continue working together if you see the value. this is going to help you immensely with people. Now, you don't have to do the refund. That's your call. You don't even have to do the cancel anytime. But I'll tell you, we live in a world now where gyms, trying to get people to lock into year-long programs are having a harder time closing people. People like Uber. Uber, you just call it when you need a car, and you don't have to pay auto insurance, and you don't have to pay monthly auto payments. People are really moving away from locked in lifestyles to lifestyles where they have a lot of flexibility. And by you offering this package to them in that way, you're really kind of, it's called the zeitgeist of the world. You're on top of the zeitgeist of the modern world. Now, let's talk about these different packages, these 4 packages. You have 3 main ones and then 1 extra powerful enterprise solution. $9.97, that is what we call the tripwire. That's what gets them in the door, okay? That's the entryway price point. Usually you want to start all of your small business clients at the $9.97 level. Occasionally, maybe it's somebody you already know, they already trust you, they've heard of your reputation, you could start at some of the higher levels. Now, what's the difference? Just more time, more hours, more marketing spend that you'll do for them. And you can see below, we'll have some of the recommended services that you offer for $9.97 versus $19.97 versus $49.97 versus $10,000. And in one of the main differences, the higher packages, you're going to actually spend money on your credit card for them on Google and various Facebook marketing, because you're not only going to do social media marketing, you're also going to do internet marketing for them. That's the other thing you're going to learn in this program. So you can go, look, I will do your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube for $9.97, plus I'll do some basic brand spending for you. I'll spend a little bit of money just so that you show up on the top of the search results for Google. And then for $19.97, you'll just spend more money for them, And then for $19.97, for $49.97, you'll spend even more. And then last but not least, for that $10,000 and up, because that $10,000 is like enterprise, it could be $100,000. You're going to spend even more on marketing money for them. So they're going to pay you up front, and then you're going to take that money and you're going to spend it on advertising for them. And you're going to mark it up so that you keep a percentage of that profit for your time and your labor. Okay, so remember, at the end of the day, the reason you want multiple price packages, and I learned this from a mentor years ago at a conference. I overheard him talking. I was actually in Spain, and he presented something I thought was very interesting. He said, there's always a small percentage of people who want the best package. They want a Lexus, they want a Ferrari, they want the deluxe edition of the car. What's the same here? You're going to get some people, like me, for example. As a business owner, if somebody came to me, I'd probably start paying them $9.97 a month to manage my social media. And then, as I saw they were good, I would ramp right up to the $10,000 a month, if you know what you're doing, or $49.97. So I think that, at the end of the day, that you are going to have a huge advantage by not just having one price. Now, let me address something. A lot of people are asking me, Ty, should I have a real low price point, like $100 a month or something? And I have mixed feelings on this. The reason being, here's the thing. With $100 a month, to make $1,000, you need 10 clients. Are you able to manage 10 clients? You got to value your own time, energy. Do you really want to do that much work for just $1,000 a month? I'd rather come in with a higher price point with this service, not be able to close everybody, right? Because if you drop your price to $100 a month, you're going to get a heck of a lot more customers. But remember, the more customers you get, the more work you have to do. So to make $10,000, let's say that the goal is to get to 6-figure income. So that's $8,000 a month. At $100, you have to have 80 clients. 80 clients. Now, that's 80 clients worth of work. You gotta have, you know, you also have to worry about customer service. Got to make sure their credit cards go through. You got to be able to offer them a good quality job. Are you gonna have the time to do 80? Because imagine it takes you 1 hour a week. Now you got to do per customer times 80 customers. That means you got to do 80 hours a week of work to service them. So you're gonna have to hire help. Profit margins go through, go way down with that much labor. So with $1,000 to $10,000 clients, you only have to have a handful of people paying you, and you can get, at, let's say you have the $997, $1,997, $4,997, and the $9,997 package. Let's say the average person is paying you just $1,500 when you average it all together. You only need 5 clients, 5 to 6 clients, and now you're making a 6-figure income. So I'd rather be a little more patient, be pickier with clients. I'd rather get a little more rejection from some clients. I'm okay, and you're gonna learn how to be okay with rejection by just reframing it. Every client that says no to you is less work for you. And you're looking for the clients that wanna do business with you. So it's better to be patient. That's why this is a 4-month program. Even if you only get 1 customer every other month, or let's say you're even slower, you get 1 new customer every 3 months. In 18 months, at that rate, you have 6 customers. If they're averaging $1,500, you're making, in 18 months from now, you can be making a 6-figure income at that, relatively slow track. So I think that this is a better approach to business. This is what I do in my businesses. I don't underprice what I do. There's a few of you that will try a lower price, because this is just a template. You don't have to follow everything I say, but be very careful with lowering price. Now, I'll tell you the last thing about pricing. So you got these 4 paid pricing levels that people can pay you. Well, there's one more pricing level you have, and I'll talk about this now. That's a $0 package. That's what I call a free social media marketing, free social media and internet marketing evaluation. You're gonna do an evaluation absolutely free for each customer that you think is a potential to pay you. So you don't have to do this for everybody. But when you go in, you talk to somebody, and they seem like they have the money to pay you, because you got to be dealing with a business that has enough money, that's successful enough. You're talking to a business owner that's seems interested, that expresses interest, that sees the value. You're going to do for them, and right after you meet them, you're going to do a free social media and internet marketing evaluation, and you'll be getting certified on how to do this, how to look at their website, identify weaknesses in the speed of the website, whether it's mobile optimized. You're going to look at their website, whether it has a sales funnel and lead generation funnel. You're going to look at the sales copy, and you're going to then, of course, look at each of their social media channels, look how often they're posting, look at the engagement level. You'll also give them some metrics, what other competitors are doing. So you basically, let's say you're in a pizza store, a realtor or something. If you find benchmarks, you can say, look, people using the methodologies I'm going to do for you are averaging 100 leads a month, and you're only getting 20. Or they're averaging, this many people buying pizza online versus, you're only averaging 20. You should be doing 100 a day. So the free price point is kind of your foot in the door. Once they see and you give them this free social media and internet marketing evaluation that you've done as the expert, and we'll give you some tools that'll help you with that over these 4 months. For now, just remember, you're going to go ahead and give that to them free. Not everybody. There's some small businesses you can tell right away they don't have the money, they're rude, they're not interested. You don't need to put up with that. You just move on. There's lots of fish in the sea. Never get desperate. There's a saying, what you go after too much moves away from you. So never be desperate, okay? And it might take a little bit longer, but as the famous parable goes, there was somebody who built their house on the sand, and when the wind came, their house blew down. But there was one wise man who built his house on the rock, and when the wind and the storms came, the house shook, but the foundation was strong. And the foundation for you is you getting paid enough for each customer, you screening the customers so that the ones that are rude, not interested, and don't have enough money are weeded out, You're not desperate. Every customer who tries to pay you isn't worth taking their money. Joel Salatin, my first mentor when I was 19, used to tell me every profitable customer isn't always profitable. Every profitable customer isn't always profitable. What he meant was, you could be making money from a customer and you regret taking them on because they're such a pain in the butt. So that that cancel anytime clause that you're going to give them, you can also say, and you can say, look, sir or madam, as a business owner and an expert in social media and internet marketing, if it's not working out, I can cancel too. So that's another important thing to tell them, so that you don't appear desperate. Nobody likes to work with desperate people. So if you come in there and you're too pushy and you're trying to get them to sign a huge contract to start with, you're coming off as desperate, and it's going to be a lot harder to close people. So once again, you do the free social media and internet marketing evaluation. That's kind of the foot in the door for all prospects that you think would be good customers. Once they see the value in that, you try to get them into the $9.97 a month program. If you can get some big wins, they start seeing an improvement in more customers. You can say, if you've seen the value here at $9.97, let's talk about our $19.97 or $49.97 package. And then lastly, if they're big, you can say, let's go right up to the $10,000 a month level, and you tell them, and listen, full money back guarantee, and we've got a cancel anytime. Now, one thing I will add on the refunds, on the higher programs, you'll want a different refund because you're going to be spending money on their marketing. So the $10,000 level, I usually don't offer that refund level, just a little caveat. And even on the $49.97, but the $9.97 and the $19.97, you're usually good. And every once in a while, the refund policy means you're going to have to eat it. Sometimes, I have refunds on all my programs, and every once in a while, people take advantage of you. But you know what? That's the price of doing business. And you have to be tough enough to know that if you keep on doing business right, you'll be okay in the long run. Okay? So, I would like you to complete this lesson by summarizing what you've learned below. It's very important that you know how to summarize what we talked about. So what I want you to summarize is the 4 paid program levels, and the 1 free, and the extra bonuses you're throwing in. Explain those, the refund and the cancel anytime. Okay, so just rewrite that. It's important you know how to regurgitate this. It's been proven if you write down or you re-summarize what you just learned from somebody else, that you're twice as likely to remember it. And you need to know this stuff backwards and forwards so that when you sit down with a customer, you can say this smoothly and not feel flustered. Okay, so leave that as a comment. You've got to complete each lesson in order to get the certification. Okay, so it's important. Remember, get out what you put in. So put in a little bit of time here, 5-10 minutes, and rewrite out below. Okay, thanks so much, and talk to you soon.